Hey folks, I'm HPCrazy, and today's topic is a minor blues rock guitar masterclass, and this is how it sounds. Yeah, folks, that was a long example. First I played the riff, which you're gonna learn now, and then I played soloing to the really cool track. It's we love the trio formation, just drum, bass, and guitar is really cool, such as Stevie Ray Vaughan did, or the other guy. What is his name again? I forgot his. Rory Gallagher, yeah, that was the other guy, which really did the cool stuff with the trio. And trio is always cool because then the guitar has a lot of things to do. And on the solo part, we won't check out the licks in specific, but the method, how to create a really cool thing, because this is a guitar masterclass, so you need to have your things a little bit together. Otherwise, probably, especially on the soloing, it will be not so easy to follow, but the riff is very easy to learn. It's also for the beginners among you, so let's get started. Okie dokie. So here we have, we start here, this basically is a normal minor blues in A minor, and I'm using a Freeman amp. I love this amp. Ping pong delay, but now for showing the riff, I switched it off. And so for the A minor, for the 4 bars of A minor, I'm using this little riff, this one here. A minor 7 here, just borrowing the 5th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 back to A5. I really love this little riff. It reminds me a lot to Australian band long time ago, Rose Tattoo. They had a song called The Butcher, and that sounds a little bit like The Butcher. So we repeat this 2 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Really simple. Then we go to D5 here in the 3rd fret, 2nd fret. You can, if you really want to have the really hard biting chord, you also add the open A string and really go through the strings hard, and you need to really damp the remaining 2 strings, the 2 E strings, that you really can go. That is really the hard rock or blues rock D5. Then we move up the whole thing to the 5th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. We move it up, and then we go back to the 2 bars of A minor. 2, 3. Then comes an F13. Really cool one here. 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret. We play 8 notes. 1, Always the chord and then the bass. So the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then we go to E, 7 sharp 9. And with the E7 sharp 9, the Jimi Hendrix chord, we add some vibrator. See, here with the fingers. And then comes the riff here. 2, 3, 4. And then we add the chord at the end of the thing. So let's see how it sounds with the track. Yeah, that was basically how the riff is played. If you want to really go get those overtones, that's a really cool way of the... If you add kind of a slight tremolo effect, you do it by pressing your arm against the guitar and doing the slight movement, pressing against the... I don't know the English word for it, the hulls, the neck. See how the overtones come. You have a lot of time, this is a really cool effect. See? See how the overtones come. And that's what we want, that what is cool, and that was really frightens us. Yeah, so that was basically the riff. Now we come into the second part of the tutorial, which is the cooler one, I guess, because now we want to play with this riff and do soloing. Now, when we are in a trio formation, it's pretty tricky because there are no chords around, so you need to do the whole work all by yourself. So the first thing, you need to know the riff by heart, and if you play, it just keeps on going in your brain, you know. So now you can add any kind of soloing on the A minor, pentatonic or whatever, and stick to the riff which is going on. What does that mean? Man, let's see. Now comes the riff. I kept it really simple now. Yeah, see what I did here? I just played simple stuff. And the cool thing in the trio formation, the tone itself, if you even play a single tone, you can really keep it going, you know. Try to make the maximum expression on your tone because it's alone on its own. So you really have to shape the tone. Vibrators under control, and then but the riff is going on in your brain while you're playing. So. And then comes a quarter. And if you play the riff before, then the listener still remembers the riff, and this gives a more or less consistent way of listening to what you're playing. So you keep it going, and you also can make longer passages like I did. Here I switched to A minor scale with double stops when it switched to D minor. This was a 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5, 5. And there I didn't play the riff at all, but still the listeners had the feeling that it was still going on. And then you come back, and then you come back with the riff. And that's the really cool part you want to have here, and that sounds cool. When it comes now to the F7, in this case, I really suggest that you switch to the F7. So F7, let's take F7 here. Let me switch off the delay quickly. F7. F7. This F7 chord. 8, 6, 7, 8, 6. So this is the F. So this is the most important note to play. But since it's the F7, this is the 7th. So if you go for that note in your soloing, you're really showing the audience that you know that's F7 here. So to E7. Also, you have to refer to the E7, and the easiest way to refer to it, take the chord E7, 7th, 6, 7, 5. And here's the triad, the G sharp is the triad. So if you go for that note, so from the 7, let's make this little melody. Then you're really referring to the chords, even you're only playing one note. Because if you play one note, the 7th, this is half part of the chord. And here the triad as well. Yeah, so that's really what is you need to do. And then you can switch back to the pentatonic. So let's see how this really works in the entire soloing. It really makes the difference if you just instead of just play pentatonics. If you cannot do this only with pentatonics, because if you have a trio formation, pentatonics itself doesn't really refer to the chords. I mean, you can play pentatonics over the whole thing, but it basically gives a flat sound and you're not really referring to the chords. But this way you're referring to the chords. So let's see how the whole thing sounds. Switch on the delay and chord. There comes a D. D5. Now comes the F. Yeah, so what I did here, I really refer to the chord with these simple notes. And I mean, if you don't know which the notes are, you just take the chord F7. You can also take other notes, but the 7th and the triad are the most important ones you can go for. Same to E7. Well, and with D7, you can take this chord here, or this. D7, and these notes are the referring notes to the chord, and in between you play the normal chords from the riff or whatever you want, and that's the really cool thing, you know. And this way you really create any kind of follow-up that the audience gets, oh, the guy's really knowing what he's doing and not just noodling around. But now if you have a few licks where you can noodle around, that's cool too, but then always keep the whole thing going on in your brain, like this is the song going on. Always refer to what is going on, even if you noodle around. Let's check this out. So I start here just by any kind of pentatonic. chord. Now let's noodle around a little bit. I played just pentatonic, then chord. Now you come with the chord. Yeah. What happened now? I was just noodling around with the pentatonics or the blues scale, and you heard you didn't really get the chord. Which is the chord now going on? You just got the bass. But then, in this case, I just came in with the chord to define, okay, now it's this chord. And then it's really needed that you from time to time play the chord, otherwise you have no clue which chord is played. If you refer to the chords in your soloing, it's not so much needed. Still you can do it, but always think about the chords that is played in the description, by the way. If you don't know the minor blues form by heart, you should know that by heart, otherwise you cannot do that. Yeah, and then it's really cool, and then you really start to express yourself, and the one note gets a meaning. It's not just, this thing is not about playing licks, you know. We don't want to play licks here, we just want to follow the chords. And if you don't really know which the chord, where the chord notes are, just check out the chord like also A minor here. So these are the chords D minor. These are the chords F, chord notes, and E. So there you find them if you're unsure, or you can take 7 chords or whatever. If you go in another position, also find the chord notes just by playing the chord. So let's put things together now. Just start with the riff and follow the stuff just by following the chords. Yeah, folks, that was now the minor blues rock guitar masterclass. And as I said at the beginning of this tutorial, it's not really for beginners. The riff is very easy to play, but following the chords through the entire form, referring to the chords in the soloing, really needs a lot of, it's not so technical. I mean, you don't need to noodle around as I did sometimes, but you need to really connect with the chords you're playing, and then you have the result which really works. Also in a band situation, it's not only for trio, it's also for a band situation where you have probably keyboards or second guitar. Doesn't really matter. Or a harp, like Steve Vai always has a harp playing. player with him, which I find very cool. Yeah, and that's basically the main topic here. Try to learn the minor blues form by heart, follow the chords, refer to the chords as showed, and then you're really ready to go. And then the stuff is not so hard to play, but it's a lot of control what you're doing, knowing what you're doing. And doing music is not just moving your fingers on the fretboard, it's about hearing inside what is going on. That's the main topic. Yeah, good. If you want to have the backing track, you can download it in the HPCrazy Students Club, the coolest guitar community on the planet, small but cool. And the tabs are also there. And what else to say? Follow me on Spotify or Facebook, or I have an Instagram account. But the more as me as an entire musician, yeah. Also cool to go there. Good. Dr. Pink, you want to say something? Dr. Pink said, we didn't show how to go in upper positions here, but it's not really needed. And in a trio formation, the tone is a little bit thin up. You still can do it, but that will be part of another tutorial. So make sure you subscribe to my channel for more updates about minor blues, masterclasses, whatever.